When your AC stops working, just call the experts at KS Services Heating and Air. They're fast and affordable. Right now, purchase any Bryant energy efficient system and save with 0% interest for 60 months with approved credit. It comes included with a 5-year labor warranty. And our fair price guarantee means that we will always give you 3 quotes for every situation. A good, better, and best. Call KS Services Heating and Air today. We roll on, whatever it takes.
It's the Weather Xtreme video, the morning edition. This is for Friday, the 6th of October. I'm James Spann. One more dry day, then we deal with Tropical Storm Nate over the weekend. A lot of things to talk about, so here we go. Still today, warm and dry, ridging in the east. Troughing in the western states. We'll be up in the mid-80s in most spots today. But it feels good this morning. Look at Fort Payne, 52. 55 in Gadsden, Birmingham at 66. Around the nation, frost and freeze advisories up north for parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota. Flash flood watches for parts of the Corn Belt region. And, of course, we have tropical storm and hurricane watches in effect now for parts of the Central Gulf Coast. We'll talk much more about that in just a moment. Convective outlook, this is for today and tonight. An enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of Kansas and the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. We could see a few tornadoes in that zone later today. Tomorrow, we have a marginal risk on the Central Gulf Coast, along and east of the track of Nate. And that means there could be a few isolated tornadoes for places like Mobile, Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Destin, Panama City Beach, Apalachicola. That risk extends inland as far north as Monroeville, Greenville, and Troy. And keep in mind, this runs through 7 a.m. Sunday. Then day 3, this is during the day Sunday after 7 a.m., the main risk of tornadoes now south and east of Montgomery. And that's in association with the new track we're seeing inland of Nate. The latest guidance kind of hooking Nate to the east a little farther to the south across the state. So if this indeed verifies, that would pretty much leave the northern part of Alabama out of the tornado risk on Sunday. We'll still get a lot of rain, but again, for now, it looks like the better chance of tornado activity Sunday. Again, generally south of a line from Mobile to Montgomery to Auburn and Opelika. Rain, yeah. Alabama kind of right in the axis of the heaviest rain from Nate. This is valid through Friday morning of next week, and this is suggesting rain amounts could exceed 4 inches in a few spots. We're still going to say average amounts between 1 and 3 inches. Some spots may be getting more. But let's talk about Nate. Very disorganized tropical storm early this morning. The top winds are at 45 miles per hour. Moving north-northwest at 14. It's going to scoot along at a pretty good clip. Look at the modeling, a very good agreement now, with the models generally pushing this up to southeast Louisiana and then hooking through central and north Alabama. This is the intensity guidance. And again, you've heard me say this for a while. I don't know if Nate becomes a hurricane. It's possible, but most of the guidance keeps Nate a tropical storm over the Gulf. As we've talked about, it's going to encounter some cooler seawater temperatures at the higher latitudes in the Gulf. It will encounter a little dry air working in from the west and also some westerly shears. So the main effect should be from rain and maybe a few isolated tornadoes. This is the track. This is the advisory issued at 4 o'clock Central Time this morning. And not much change. If anything, the guys at NHC have kind of made this thing a little weaker. It keeps it a tropical storm tomorrow in the open Gulf and then brings it up to a minimal hurricane near landfall just after midnight tomorrow night near the mouth of the Mississippi River. And then the remnant circulation hooks up through Alabama Sunday afternoon and Sunday night and then on up to near New Jersey after midnight Monday night. This is the storm surge flooding map, and the areas of blue you see there, that's between 1 and 3 feet. And again, that's not going to cause a whole lot of problems, but it might in spots, and that's for the Central Gulf Coast. Again, this is the timing, the arrival of tropical storm force winds. That's 39 miles per hour or higher. And you can see that those winds should arrive on the Central Gulf Coast during the day Saturday. And we'll talk all about this and see if we can answer your questions as we go through the modeling here. Let's start with the GFS. This is the 06Z run at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is at 500 millibars, troughing in the western states, ridging here. And again, for us, no big change. Sunny, warm, mid-80s today. No problems for high school football tonight. The sky will be clear, and you can see Nate approaching the Yucatan Channel. This is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Nate is moving on up pretty quick, and conditions will deteriorate on the central Gulf Coast. And again, you can see the GFS really showing this thing over 1,000 millibars, not especially deep. It certainly doesn't suggest it becomes a hurricane. And moisture will increase. Let's look at the high-resolution NAM. This is 1 o'clock tomorrow. And again, we've got football, UAB, homecoming at 3, Auburn, a home game at 11. And it sure looks like the bulk of the day will be dry. Could there be a shower? Yes, but again, I just don't think rain will be a problem for those football games. If there happens to be a shower, it should be pretty brief. Now, this is just after midnight tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Sunday. The GFS depicts, again, a relatively weak system coming up towards southeast Louisiana, and rain should overspread most of the state at that point. So the most widespread rain for the northern two-thirds of the state should come tomorrow night and Sunday, but rain and wind on the Gulf Coast begins tomorrow morning. This is Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's got the system south of Meridian. And then Sunday at 7 o'clock, the GFS has the circulation right on top of Birmingham. And remember that the tornado threat's going to be south and east of that. That's the reason you see the guys at the SPC guys having the tornado risk south and east of Montgomery. Okay, again, this is Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. Let's check the European. And it's even farther to the south. The GFS has the surface low near Birmingham. The European has it down around Thomasville in Clark County, or maybe South Marengo County. But again, that certainly would mean that the northern part of the state would not be dealing with a tornado threat. The southern counties could. This is just after midnight Sunday night. The GFS pulls the surface low up to near Birmingham. And then Monday, it's on the way out. And we certainly could see some lingering showers in here on Monday, but probably not as heavy as the rain we see on Sunday. Let's check the QPF. This is the expected rain coming off the European. And it's got the axis of heavier rain right up through central Alabama. And again, these numbers will change again, but this is suggesting Birmingham with 3.4 inches, Gadsden 4.4, Tuscaloosa 1.8. But again, your number is going to vary. But what we're going to say in our forecast, average amounts between 1 and 3 inches. Some spots may be getting more. But understand, we've been dry. We can take a lot of water. I don't think we have any major flooding problems. And again, when I go back to the main forecast here from the guys at NHC and just kind of talk about the general ideas here, if for the people asking about the Gulf Coast, I can't make a decision for you. Do you go or not go? Because for many, this is a long holiday weekend. But just understand that Saturday is going to be rough with wind and rain, the possibility of heavy rain at times, and a few tornadoes. And again, Baldwin County has a voluntary evacuation recommendation for areas south of US 182, Beach Boulevard. And that's Saturday. And that voluntary evacuation recommendation begins this morning. But the weather down there will improve during the day Sunday, and then Monday the weather should be pretty quiet. So, but again, I just can't make that decision for you. That's the information, and you can take that and make a proper decision for you and your family. Let's go to Tuesday, back to the GFS. Nate is on the way out, and the showers would still be possible. They'll be pretty scattered, kind of warm and muggy with 80s. This is Wednesday. A cooler air mass begins to drop in. Highs dropping back in the 70s with a 1025 high coming in here. That'll be nice. The humidity comes down. Thursday looks very nice. We start the day in the 50s. The high would be in the 70s, and this is a week from today. Still got ridging here with a trough in the northwestern states, and again, that is rain-free. This is the end of the forecast period. This is Sunday, the 15th of October. Ridging here, troughing in the western states, and again, that looks dry and pleasant. numbers. You can see the numbers coming down in the 70s for the latter half of next week with lows mostly in the 50s. Very pleasant fall weather. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and God bless.
AC broken? Just call KS Services Heating and Air. All Bryant energy efficient systems come with a 5-year labor warranty, and our fair price guarantee means that we'll always give you 3 quotes for every situation. Just call KS Services Heating and Air today.